they don't do anything with your urinary tract.
No.
So,
That's bizarre, though.
but it got to the point where that infection was so bad that he wears a catheter now. They have no explanation for it. He has no kidney problems, no infection problem. I mean, pretty much a healthy guy, but totally lost control of urinary function, so he wears a catheter all the time.
Bless his heart.
And you know what? The thing is, he is very open about it. I mean, there's no excitement in his voice, no stuttering, no stammering. He's pretty much just accepted it. It's the way it is. I asked him if he could describe anything around him or individuals, and he said all he ever sees is shadows. And I went, okay. And he says, I see tall shadows, I see small shadows. He said, I see skinny shadows and I see bulkier shadows. And I said, but no definition, no eyes, nose, head shape, no, just shadows. Well, that's different. I mean, that is different. I've never heard that before.
It would be interesting if he were at least getting some type of a definitive shape of the head. Because, if it's the scoop head versus the Gray's head versus all the other options out there, you would have some concept at least of, quote, known behaviors, end quote. Nobody knows. But you would have an idea of where to even contemplate he might be going.
Well, see, I've always had kind of an issue with eyewitness testimony. And I guess only because eyewitness testimony, as opposed to real in-your-hand evidence or circumstantial evidence, is, really shaky. It always has been for many, 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 many years. There have been many studies on eyewitness testimony. I mean, you could have two people
in any circumstance.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can have two people standing there watching the same thing. You'll get two totally different things. The human brain, everybody functions differently when it comes to seeing something, especially something fleeting through the woods or along the woods or in a home or something like that. Only because, I think a lot of things people see are misidentifications. And to throw into that, people see a lot of things because they want to see that. It's already in their head what they want to see. So any deviation in the woods while they're walking or through a house with a door moving or they think it's moving, closing, I mean, they're already predisposed that that's a ghost. They're already predisposed that it's Bigfoot. So circumstantial evidence is there, but it still remains the fact that many people, even in the courts, I mean, any police officer worth any salt will tell you that eyewitness testimony with multiple victims is worthless. You'll get, people will go from it was a tall white guy to a short Chinese guy in a matter of 10 seconds. And and I find the same thing in reports. Now, the people that, when they start a report by saying, like, well, this is what I think I saw, and I'll describe what I think I saw, I'm more inclined to listen to that person than the one that's starting to describe Bigfoot right off the movie screen or Godzilla. So
I haven't run up across many Godzilla stories. I bet you have, though.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
One. Creature from the Black Lagoon had a couple of those. Even though there's no lagoon, which the guy just couldn't answer the question. I said, I've been on the property. I know where it's at. There's no lake or creek or anything on that property. Oh, yeah, there's a lagoon there. I said, well, where's the lagoon? And he describes it. I said, no, that's called a barn. And
oh, my gosh.
I said, it's filled with cows. Where's the lagoon? He said, it's right there. So I actually went and picked the guy up and drove down to this place. And we pulled in the driveway, and I said, show me the lagoon. I said, show me the lagoon, and I'll take you out and buy you the biggest lobster steak dinner you ever ate in your life. That guy actually got out of the car and started walking around the barn. He said it was here yesterday.
My word.
I took him home.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I had to do with him. But researching is getting more intricate. I mean, when you're starting to look at things that people have seen and reported for years, and researchers have been chasing for years and investigating for years, and then all this weird stuff pops up, like the shining lights and the explosion of bright light before a creature is seen or as it's leaving, or things happening to equipment in paranormal investigations. But there's a cave not far from where I'm living now, where I put the home at, where you can put brand new batteries in a flashlight, walk in the cave, and the light won't work. When they told me that, I couldn't believe it. So I jumped in the truck, took a flashlight out, put brand new batteries in it, turned it on, checked it out, kept the light on, walked in, lights went out, batteries were dead.
That could be geologic, couldn't it, though?
That's exactly what it was. That's
okay.
Exactly what it was. So, it was just a lot of quartz, a lot of iron in that cave,
mm-hmm.
a lot of weird stuff in that cave, and when I explained it to the people that were having this issue, they didn't believe me.
Sometimes people take such ownership of their situation, their perceived situation, that they just can't believe it.
Yeah, so they're still buying a lot of batteries, I guess, but there's nothing I can do about that. But everything's changing, Kat. I mean, things are getting more technical. A lot of the older people that were involved in this for years and years and years are not getting involved anymore. So, of course, you have a new breed out there. I always get crazy because I don't see enough women involved in the paranormal and UFO and the crypto field. I guess, the crypto field, I guess guys think it's kind of that's a macho thing, You get to dress up in camouflage and run around the woods. And I'm thinking that if something lived out in those woods and hides in those woods, I'm pretty sure they could spot your camouflage 5 miles out. So
without a doubt.
Yeah.
If they would smell you before they saw you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I've been around some of these people that aren't in the woods, and I can smell them before they get to the truck. But, I'd really like to see. I like the idea of the younger people getting involved. They're just smarter. They're more computer savvy. They're more equipment savvy. They know how to use a camera. Buying a $5,000 camera doesn't make you a photographer.
That's
I mean,
true.
I've seen guys with cameras way more than what I've spent on cameras over the years, and they couldn't take a good picture if you were sitting still and holding the camera for them. But it just bothers me a little bit that there aren't more women involved in the paranormal and cryptozoology and UFOs.
Well, let me interrupt there because I have an opinion on that.
Go.
I have asked, you included, to be included on investigations or expeditions of types. And you did not belittle that. You said, when we get this together, we're going to do that. And I greatly appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Somebody I admire greatly, a very good friend, and no, it's not Frank, said, well, it gets pretty rough out here. And I've told you that. The guy said, well, I've got boots. I'm not afraid to go and climb and get rough. And there's a lot of male dominance protecting women, not wanting to be outdone by women, whatever. I'm choosing to look at it as protection. Okay? But it's like they don't think that women are tough enough to be out here getting seriously into that. I have someone who is female who is going to be coming on with me soon, who is a cryptozoologist, and she goes into the wilds for months at a stretch. And she goes all the time, every year. It's an annual thing. And I'm really looking forward to that. But I don't think it's because women are not interested. I think it's because men prefer that it be a male-dominated field. And also, to back that up a bit, it's only been fairly recently that women are accepted into, hunt. Well, actually, most of them have their own hunt clubs and hunt camps, unless they go with their spouses or, special person, because it's a guy thing. And it's always been considered that. I think that's kind of the same mindset, because I know a lot of women who are interested. I don't know a lot of women that are as nutty as me that are sitting there going, take me into the woods. I have got to see these habitats, because I'm not going to be able to, buy it without seeing that.
Well, here's what I find with the very few women researchers that I know. They're smart. They always think of things that I don't think of as a male. They do due diligence. I mean, they really know what they're talking about. I mean, they study before they get out in the field, and if anything happens in the field, they get down and dirty and try to figure out what it was that happened in the field or they saw in the field. And I was with one group, and again, I was just an observer. Mm-hmm. And there was 2 women in the group and 4 guys. And everything the women said, the 4 guys would just kind of blow off, like snicker, snicker, chuckle, chuckle. And I'm thinking to myself, they're making a whole lot more sense than you 4 morons are.
Right.
And so I pretty sure that that's what got them out of the field altogether, because they were just, not that they were, I don't think they were being intentionally mocked, but it was there. That blow off was there, like, what do you know? And I'm thinking to myself, that lady just made a whole lot more sense than you did, and she did it in 10 words or less. But it's a shame. I mean, look, it's just like I have a handicapped person that every now and then hits me up to get him out in the field. Now, I have no problem doing that whatsoever, none whatsoever. He's very knowledgeable. He's done a little research for me on the side, and he knows what he's talking about. So we got him set up to go out with us this coming summer. And he said, look, I got MS. He said, so I might be talking to you and I fall over. I said, so what's the big deal? I pick you up and we continue the conversation. He said, exactly.
There you go. And that's the same thing with women.
Well, he had an experience where he got in a group down in another county below me, about 2 counties below me. And he went out. They told him he was welcome to go along. He walked on. Well, he had some kind of I don't know if he fell. I don't remember if he fell over or he got dizzy and had to sit down or something like that on the trail. And they didn't want any part of that.
So he was out with a bunch of schmucks.
And yeah, so.
Okay, now I'm going to have to stop you because we're up against a break. And we're a little bit late going out to it, but it's only 2 minutes. And we will continue this, okay, Butch?
You got it.
All right, we'll be right back.